This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. The quality of political dialogue in the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, both inside and outside Parliament, continues to decline. The thought-provoking sentiments of Anglican Bishop Leish Boyd during his charge to the opening of the 115th session of Synod at Christ Church Cathedral last evening. At the time, he reminded that politicians are role models and their behavior is not just their own business, adding that politics at its best is not meant to be only about partisan agenda, but more so about the good of the entire state. Bishop Boyd then called on politicians in the Bahamas and TCI to remember this and to focus on national advancement rather than scoring partisan brownie points. Further, that both countries stick to their overall national plans, building one country and not a land of 2 or 3 partisan interest groups. Touching on immigration in the Bahamas, the Anglican bishop called on the government to move toward the establishment of a citizenship commission or some other means of establishing clear procedures that will achieve the regularization of persons who have unsettled immigration status. That is, once they meet certain criteria. He went on to stress the need for machinery that responds to and processes requests in a timely and professional manner. The issues of climate change, financial strain, tourism, the economy, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, law enforcement, deadbeat dads, and crime were also tackled. In conclusion, the Anglican head said the world needs the message and love of God more than ever. In other news this evening, fire resources stretched, off-duty officers called in, portions of Carmichael Road closed, and a request to BPL to cut power supply as fire consumed John Shay's Carmichael Road location after 11 this morning. Here's Fire Director Chief Superintendent Walter Evans with more.
When the first unit arrived from police headquarters, it was just moments later, 15 minutes later, they met smoke coming from the top section of the back section of the facility. And when that unit arrived, all of the available units under Providence were called out, and there was a request for an Oshkosh fire truck from the airport crash and rescue department. That unit was summoned and it arrived and assisted in the extinguishment of the blaze.
Now, as you can imagine, as the fire raged on, there was the need for a significant amount of water, which had to be trucked to the scene after filling up at nearby hydrants.
Based upon the size of the structure, we had a home on the northern side that we've had to protect. We had a home on the northwestern side that we had to protect, and there's a business which is just at the southeastern area of where this facility is. All of these are exposures in addition to any number of exposures that were available here today.
So would the wind have played a factor as well?
Pardon me?
Would the wind have played a factor as well?
Oh, definitely wind played a major factor, because wind was moving towards the west, and wind would have assisted in the propagation of this fire. And so all of these, coupled with the fact that this fire was on the interior, certainly what the fire services had to do was take a conscientious decision in terms of making a decision to ensure that the safety and well-being of our staff members. That building on the inside, you had excessive heat. And for those persons who may have stood on the outside, they may have felt the radiant heat waves coming from the intensity of the flames. And it is due mainly because of the kinds of products which are stored in the facility, such as this, which are ordinary combustibles. That is not unusual, and that is common in a facility such as this.
Firefighters also had to contend with the wind shifting towards the west. The massive fire certainly shines light on the need for more manpower. Chief Superintendent Evans is certain, though, that relief is on the way.
A crew of 34 officers which are now in training, and they are training now in Grand Bahama, and within the next 2 months they should complete their training, and so that will help to augment the resources that we now have available. Again, one must bear in mind that each shift requires a certain amount of officers, and we have gone on here and made a specific requirement that all off-duty officers to come to the scene of this fire. Off-duty officers, our reserve officers have turned up. We have our chief fire officer who was stationed in Grand Bahama. He was in Nassau. When he heard the clarion call, he showed up because he was in Nassau. And of course, we have officers from the Carmichael Road Police Station headed by Chief Superintendent Bruce Arnett. And we had officers from the Mobile Traffic Division, the Airport Police Division. We've had quite a bit of support, and even two from our canteen office as well.
2 ladies were reportedly taken to hospital, presumably for smoke inhalation. Stay with us for a check on sports and weather.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.